Hello everyone, this is Maki. Requiem for Vengeance, with its heavy-duty mobile suits that thrill fans, has reached its conclusion. But what kind of developments lie ahead for this story? Though the main story is over, the ending suggests that there may be more to come. Its performance on Netflix, where it was streamed, seems to have been quite solid. Perhaps we can dare to hope for a continuation of the story. Today I thought we'd have a light-hearted chat. What kind of future awaits Sorari? Of course, be aware that I will be giving away spoilers for Requiem for Vengeance. Now hit the subscribe button and start dropping. In the previous episode of my show, I introduced the pilot of Gundam EX as Phoenix based on the information in the subtitles. So far, there has been no official confirmation of the accuracy of this subtitle. It's possible that the displayed name was just a placeholder used during the planning stages. Recently, however, the official media for Requiem for Vengeance revealed the name of the pilot as Kid. Whether Kid is his real name or just a description of him being a child remains unclear. For now, following the official media, I will refer to the pilot of Gundam EX as Kid in my series as well. Now, after interacting with Kid, Sorari has successfully established a conversation as a new type. Sorari's true intention: I don't want to fight. I just want to help my comrades escape into space, was clearly conveyed to Kid. This scene demonstrated the new type's ability to accurately understand the thoughts of another. However, to the soldiers of the Zeon forces, who are not new types, the stationary Gundam EX appeared to be nothing more than an enemy showing an opening. The cockpit of the Gundam EX was subsequently destroyed by a Gao custom. The story then shifts to a later point in time. After confirming that his comrades had escaped into space, Sorari decides to go to Africa, bringing the story to its conclusion. Sorari going to Africa is the only confirmed fact we have so far. Why Africa? The reason is simple. This is because there are many Principality of Zeon troops in Africa who are allies of Sorari. At the beginning of the war, Zeon forces launched their invasion of Earth and successfully took control of Africa. This region became known as the North African Front. In December of Universal Century 0079's Federation forces began their African sweep. Many Zeon troops chose to retreat at this point. However, a significant number of soldiers chose not to withdraw, and after the war, many of these soldiers went into hiding in Africa as part of the Zeon remnants. What will Sorari do next? The easy assumption is that Sorari will join forces with his allies in Africa and look for a way to retreat into space. Sorari has a son back home. She is not so devoted to the rulers of the Principality of Zeon that he would sacrifice her life for their cause. The most logical conclusion is that Sorari will act to survive and be reunited with her son. So what kind of battles might await her? Let's take a closer look at the current state of the Zeon forces in Africa. The Zeon forces were defeated in the large-scale Federation Contre-Offensive Operation Odessa. The African Front fought to rescue and shelter their retreating allies. Following their victory in Operation Odessa, the Earth Federation launched counterattacks against Zeon forces across the globe. By mid-November, intense fighting had broken out on several fronts. It's likely that Sorari will have to fight in his Doku to reach the African front and join them. This period also marked the Earth Federation's full-scale use of mobile suits. Sorari's experience in fighting Gundams and gyms, and even piloting a gym, makes her knowledge extremely valuable to the Zeon forces. In which mobile suit would you like to see Sorari excel? Would you prefer to see him fight to the end in a Zaku? The Zaku is an iconic symbol of the Zeon forces with immense popularity and recognition among fans. A story in which Sorari fights to the end in his Zaku is certainly plausible. But there are other possibilities. The Principality of Zeon has been sending advanced mobile suits to Africa from their bases on their home planet, the moon city of Granada, and the California base in Gundam 008. We even see Zeon remnants in Africa equipped with galgoods. In addition to iconic units like the Gal and Dam, advanced models like the galgoog are used on the African front. The Gundam series is known for its protagonists switching to newer mobile suits, which often becomes a highlight of the story. Sorari, who is fighting for his life, might choose to upgrade to a more powerful mobile suit if the opportunity arises. In fact, it's a recurring theme in the Gundam series for new types to perform great feats when first piloting a mobile suit. As a new type, Sorari switching to a new model and showing off her skills is a very realistic possibility. On the other hand, sticking with the Zaku, something Sorari is already familiar with could improve her chances of survival. Will he fight to the end in a Zaku? Or will he upgrade to more powerful models, like the Gal Dawn or Galgoog? Either scenario is possible. The situation within the Principality of Zeon itself is also a critical factor. Supreme Commander Gear and Zabi and the military high command formulated a strategy to use the colossal solar ray weapon to inflict massive damage on the Earth's Federation space fleet and to intercept the remaining enemy forces advancing toward the homeworld. The plan designated the space fortress of Abaku as the site of the final, decisive battle. As a result, the importance of other Zeon bases was greatly diminished. This shift in priorities is often cited as the reason why not enough reinforcements were sent to Space Fortress Solomon. With space being the chosen battleground for the final confrontation, ground-based bases were seen as far less important. Does this mean that Zeon forces in Africa were abandoned? Not at all. The soldiers on the African front, with their extensive combat experience, were incredibly valuable. In the later stages of the war, Zeon was so short of manpower that it had to conscript students to serve as soldiers. While the strategic importance of the bases themselves had diminished, recalling experienced African frontline soldiers to space became a vital objective. For Sorari, participating in this escape operation from the African front may be his last chance to reunite with his son. If a sequel to Requiem for Vengeance were to be made, what kind of story do you think it would tell? There are still many secrets surrounding Sorari. She left her son back home to go to the battlefield. But Sorari is not someone who has sworn unwavering loyalty or devotion to the rulers of the Principality of Zeon. So what drove her to leave her son and go to war? Midway through the story, she has a dream, a vision of her peaceful everyday life being shattered and her son being consumed by flames. What could this mean? Shouldn't her son be living safely in her home? Of course, this could be interpreted as a reflection of Sorari's subconscious fear that if she does not defeat the terrifying Gundam, her son and her homeland will be in grave danger. It would be fascinating to see the continuation of this story. Thank you for watching to the end. See you in the next episode.